everybody, welcome to Wrestling News with the Dude. Today you will be listening about a recap of GTS Saturday Night Great Event and third week of Wednesday Night War. If you have seen the recent episode of GTS Wrestling, you've seen a 6-pack elimination match to determine the next challenger for the GTS Heavyweight Championship. We had Ace the Hitman Jones versus Zack Cena versus Tony Emerald versus Tony G versus Undertaker versus Grim. Grim won the 6-pack challenge, thus he will be facing SHEMAR for the GTS Championship, and it will happen at Clown Duels. Despite the fact that Grim has some unfinished business with Tito the Clown, do you think Grim will win the GTS Championship in 2019? Let me know in the comments down below. We had a debut of Jim Wilder, who looks like a discount Steve Irwin, I suppose. He was hired by Grim to search and hunt for Tito, of course, in the forest, which he failed to do so. Tito hunted him down and got him drunk by drinking a bottle of vodka right before the video ends. But that's not all. There are some actions going on as we seen two of the newest GTS signees. We had Frankie Marinara versus Ace Marksman, and of course Frankie won with a fruit roll-up. But wait just a minute. I call this a major bullshit. Why? You can clearly see that Ace Marksman's left shoulder was up, and Kamikaze, who was the referee for this match, didn't clearly see that Ace's left arm was up, thus sucking at his job. I think GTS referees knows better than that. But oh boy, I was proven wrong. This is why every GTS referees suck. After the match, we had a post-match beatdown between these two men. At the end, Ace stood tall while Frankie was laid out. We had a JNC Neutron Nutrition, which, don't get me wrong, I kinda like it, but it kinda pisses me off. Why? Because it's a parody of Firefly Funhouse, except when someone had to burn it down. So, I wonder if someone like Grim or Doo-Hop is actually going to burn Neutron Nutrition down. And that is how you can piss Tito off real more, just like when The Fiend gets pissed off real more after Seth Rollins burned the Firefly Funhouse down. Anyways, we saw GTS backstage Buzz, who's at the Doomfall. Oh wait, that's Buzz GTS, my bad. Also, does anyone know who the hell is GTS backstage Buzz? You know that one guy who I'm trying to forget. Was he the one who makes the fake news or something? I don't know. I know he's a phony. Let's not get into that. Buzz GTS was killed by Tito himself. We also had The Saint versus Greg the Douche Partagé. I don't know how I can pronounce the last name, but yeah. This was a squash match. As you can see, Grim loves to push big sweaty men. Oh wait, that's Vince McMahon. Anyways, I want to point out that Marcus Schuyler made an appearance and he's not being used for the show. And let me ask, why was he there and why was he not being used for GTS Wrestling taping? Switching gears to a third week of Wednesday Night War. So starting off with WWE NXT's episode. So Tommaso Ciampa came back in action for the first time in 8 months. He defeated Angel Garza in his comeback match. So welcome back, Tommaso. We were supposed to have Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong for the NXT North American Championship next week, but apparently Velveteen was taken out by the Undisputed Era, thus we would find the new challenger for the North American title. Two members of the Imperium, Marcel Barthel and Fabian Archner, defeated a team of Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. And I gotta say, what a great back and forth tag team match on NXT. Io Shirai defeated Kaden Carter in a 5-minute matchup. Afterwards, Io Shirai cut a promo and said she would be the only one to come after Shayna Baszler. but was interrupted by Rhea Ripley, who's going to beat Bianca Belair and Io Shirai in the future, thus she could be next in line for the NXT Women's title. The NXT General Manager William Regal booked this match between Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship. This match was pretty great until Roderick decided to ruin it, thus ending the match with a no contest. William came out and said Roderick will have to defend the title against Keith and Dominik in a triple threat match on the next episode of NXT. Matt Riddle defeated Bronson Reed, and that match was, let's just say, pretty alright. Tegan Nox made her return and defeated Taynara Conti. She celebrates with her first victory with Dakota Kai. Shayna Baszler and the other two MMA horsewomen had to crash the party. So Shayna cut a promo and issued a warning to any woman who's going to be in line for the NXT Women's title. Killian Dane defeated Boa in a squash match, I presume. After the match, Pete Dunne made his entrance and was confronted by Killian. Pete grabbed his hand and broke his fingers. And what a main event match between Pete Dunne and Damian Priest. Damian won after hitting a low blow followed by his finishing move, The Reckoning. This episode was pretty alright. They could have done better than last week's episode of NXT. Then again, it's really hard to watch both WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite. Let's talk about the third episode of AEW Dynamite. They kicked off with a tournament match for the inaugural AEW World Tag Team titles. SCU, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian came out before they were taken out by the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. The brawl ended when the Pentagon gave CD a package piledriver onto the ramp. Christopher Daniels had to be replaced by Scorpio Sky, and I'm glad Chris Daniels is alright and he will be out of action for a while. So yeah, SCU fought in a great tag match with Best Friend, Trent Beretta, and Chuck Taylor. SCU picked up the victory and will face the Dark Order in the semi-finals next week. Santana and Ortiz took on the Beaver Boys, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, and this match was pretty, well, they picked up the victory, and I can't say if this was a squash match, because I wouldn't want to see a 3-minute squash match in AEW. They should know better than that. We had Riho versus Dr. Britt Baker for the AEW Women's World title. This match was pretty cool, although I do feel like the women's division that AEW are only focusing on Riho and Britt Baker. I mean, sure, it's a 2-hour show, but it'll be more interesting if we can have 2 women's match on the next episode of Dynamite. I can understand that we had a tournament match going on or even some more storytelling, so I could let that slide. Anyways, Riho successfully retained her Women's World title. We thought we would see Britt Baker's heel turn, but nope, they shook hands each other. Oh, and by the way, I think it's too soon to see Britt Baker's heel turn because I know she has some unfinished business with Bea Priestley. Luchasaurus suffered an injury and had to be out of action for months. He gets replaced by Marco Stunt. So the Jurassic Express, Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy took on the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. for the first round tournament. I gotta say, great tag team match, but the only thing that Marco needs to get rid of is the Fortnite dance. No, seriously, no more Fortnite references. Sorry, but I stopped caring about Fortnite over a year ago. Lucha Bros managed to win the tournament round, thus they will face Private Party in the semi-finals next week as well. We had another tag team match with a team of Jon Moxley and Pac versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Then again, we had so many tag team matches, but I can understand that we need more storytelling between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. This match was pretty good, but whenever the referee was out, Kenny pulled out the barbed wire broomstick while Jon pulled out the barbed wire bat from under the ring. Kenny swings for Jon, but he ducks and hits him with a bat. Pac then came in and took his bat away. Both Pac and Jon were arguing. Jon gave him a finger, followed by a double arm DDT. This is why you don't tell this man what to do, because he can do anything he wants. Pac got to his peak, and he gets hit with the buckshot lariat, followed by a V-trigger and Deadeye. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page wins the tag team match. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Pac got pinned. At least it wasn't a clean loss. Pac is going one-on-one with Jon Moxley on the 4th episode of AEW Dynamite next Wednesday. We had a main event between Darby Allin and Chris Jericho and a Philadelphia street fight for the AEW World Championship. Darby came out with a skateboard. Chris came out with his Painmaker persona, including his makeup. The main event was pretty alright, although I'm very satisfied with Darby's performances because he actually did a moonsault while his hands was taped up. But I'm kinda disappointed that the weapons they only used was the steel chair, candlestick, and a skateboard. But don't get me wrong, I was still very into it. Darby was about to do his finishing move, the coffin drop, but nope, Jake Hager came out and interferes. Chris went for the Lion Tamer, Darby taps out, and the referee calls for the bell. Chris Jericho is still your AEW World Champion, and afterwards, Chris celebrates his victory with his fellow mates from Inner Circle, and of course, they drink some bit of bubbly as the show ends. I gotta say, the 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite was pretty decent. However, according to the viewership tracker, NXT drew 712,000 viewers. Meanwhile, AEW Dynamite drew 1.014 million viewers. Thus, AEW wins the 3rd week of Wednesday Night War. NXT is just doing the casual way, and as you may know, AEW isn't even looking for some competition, despite the fact that they won the consecutive weeks of Wednesday Night War. So, there you have it, folks. That is all I have for today. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more content, and join the notification squad by tapping that little bell so you don't want to miss the latest upload on this channel. As always, goodbye, peace, and good day.